I met Naomi Mayers in the late 1960s. At that point, she had already been on the site of where Black Power was born in Australia, which was at the Aborigines Advancement League in Melbourne.
Well, Aunty Naomi was a major influence in that story of the Sapphires, and I spoke to her, many years ago about it. And she originally did not go to Vietnam, and she didn't go to Vietnam because she was a, anti-war protester. She didn't believe in, what they were doing over there, and she didn't want to go over and support the troops, and support the governments. She didn't want to support the governments, really.
Our childhood was a little bit different. Tent Embassy, I was at the Tent Embassy with Sol and Mum, many demonstrations. Too many to even remember. Our childhoods were kind of ruined a little bit. So, I'd like to watch Tarzan on the weekend, and then my mum would come in and say, "You can't watch this, that's a white man teaching black people in the jungle how to live." So Tarzan got ruined for us. Hence, we would play demonstrations, me and my cousin Tony, and yell out things like, "Paint them black and send them back, paint them black and send them back." And that was the catch cry for the Springboks demonstrations.
When Naomi moved to Sydney, she became part of the inner circle of what later became known as the Redfern Black Power Group. But at the same time, she took up the position of administrator of the Redfern Aboriginal Medical Service, and in doing so, in my opinion, became by far the most efficient, scrupulous, honest administrator that any Aboriginal organisation has ever seen,
Not only did she get this one established, but she was able to, the money that she received, able to help other medical services all around Australia, which I think is a great achievement.
Naomi used to organise a doctor, a nurse and anyone else that she could muster up to go out there for 3 months. So in that 3 months, they would establish their own, and, like Perth's still running. Broome, the Kimberleys.
I found her to be a very kind person, but she didn't take any nonsense. As everyone knows, when she said something, it was because it was for the benefit of everyone, not just for herself.
She knew how to put up with my tantrums. I worked as the media officer for the Redfern Medical Service, and when I couldn't get my way, I would frequently say that I was going to resign, and I wrote more than a few letters of resignations over the years, but each time Naomi would just store them away and wait for me to come grovelling back.
Naomi was and still is, in her way, defiant. An example is when Dental Clinic was set up and she had the promise of some funding for about 2 chairs, but she went ahead and ordered 5 and gave the bill to Department of Aboriginal Affairs, and they paid.
Growing up with Mum being at the AMS, I grew up in the medical service. I went to daycare around the corner in Pitt Street at the daycare centre. I was always here with Mum, and I knew her as the leader. Mum sacrificed time with us, I think, because of everything that she was doing. She had to.
Because her people always came first, sometimes in front of family. Like, she always looked after the family and we never wanted for anything, but it was always about her people and bettering Aboriginal health.
For Naomi Mayers, Aunty Naomi, to be able to achieve the things that she did and be instrumental in setting up and pushing forth and helping to grow things that benefit Aboriginal people right around this country is nothing short of extraordinary.
She's done so much in her life, being at the Aboriginal Medical Service for 45 plus years, longest serving female CEO in Australia. It's very overdue, very well deserved, and I think this is just mob saying, this is for you, Naomi, this is for you, this is what you've done, we recognise it, you are where you are, and there's a lot of services that wouldn't have happened without Mum and Dad and a whole bunch of people, but Mum was always there at the forefront, always.